An Arkansas State Police trooper has resigned amid allegations of racist and white supremacist behavior revealed in court documents. Michael Austin Kennedy resigned May 15th, 2 days after his estranged wife filed for divorce, accusing him of being a white supremacist. The court filing included dozens of screenshots of text messages allegedly sent by Kennedy that included racial slurs and other offensive language. The filing also alleges Kennedy bragged about arresting minorities and overstepping his authority as a trooper. Arkansas State Police confirmed his resignation and said an internal review was being conducted. The agency says it does not tolerate discrimination or bias.
Yeah. I wonder how many years he was on the force. At the end of the day, we know this exists. People don't like to have this conversation because there are people who abuse the fact that, they'll call everything racism when everything isn't. But what happens is when you do that, it actually allows people who are actually racist to kind of get away with their gross behavior. I'm glad it was exposed. I don't like how his wife went about it because you know what? At the end of the day, she was rocking with him when he was saying these things. So to me, she's just as racist. But now that, they're getting a divorce, she wanted to, sounds like she wanted to, give it to him real bad. And now he had to resign. I don't know how that works in terms of their benefits and all of that. But man, she's taking him through the ringer. But sometimes justice comes in mysterious ways. And him being exposed through the divorce proceedings, hey, whatever it takes. Because these type of people, he should go get another job, but that type of authority, that type of power, that type of say-so, and the fact that it showed that he was abusing his power, you don't need to be a police officer. And this is the thing. He's been hiding for however many years. I hope they revisit the people he's arrested, because with that type of documentation, that's a problem. You're out here, using racial slurs, telling your wife certain things and talking about how you abused your power. Man, everything you did needs to be second guessed for sure. Because, what? And hopefully they already did that, because I know me personally, I would want to see that a lot of the things he did overturned, because you can't trust that he was being honest unless there's some sort of evidence that prove he was being honest. And, the people he arrested need to be, held accountable, whether that's jail, citations, whatever it is, they should still be held accountable. But if they can't prove that he was being honest, you got to overturn that and change that. It's just sad.
The chief said they have no tolerance for racist language, and even though the employee was fired right away, this will have a lasting impact on the department. Before we air this story, I want to warn you of the offensive nature of this subject. Fire Chief Lee Greenberg said a dual-service firefighter EMT from Horsham Fire Company No. 1 was responding to a car crash Tuesday afternoon when he said a racial slur.
Was inadvertently transmitted over the radio.
This is what went out over the county radio system.
You dumb.
Greenberg said he found out when a member of the media called the fire department. Once he confirmed who it was, Greenberg said he fired the employee within 30 minutes.
He was very
rightfully so
upset about it and very apologetic.
According to the chief, the comment was in reference to frustration over traffic not getting out of the firefighters' way. Now, Greenberg said the entire department will receive sensitivity and workplace professionalism training.
We're just incredibly sorry that this whole situation happened. It really puts a damper on the whole organization because we do a lot of really good work around here.
The department also sent out a statement addressing this issue. It said in part, the actions of one individual do not reflect the values, characters, or commitment of the men and women who serve our community every day.
Hey, listen, sometimes that one bad apple spoils it all, spoils it for a lot of people, And it's just so interesting. I'm glad he got caught. I'm glad he said what he said. And if he was in the privacy of his home saying things like this, it's like, well, you're in the privacy of your home, but you're at work, man. There are certain consequences for saying certain things. I'm sure I know there are going to be people who are like, people say things, all kind of nasty things all the time. Yeah, well, they're not at work. They're not at work. And their job is not to save people's lives. Like you can't have this type of authority and take this sort of job to where you are to put, your life on the line for every person, that calls and is in need of service, and then make these type of mistakes. If you're a janitor somewhere, if, I don't know, maybe if you're doing some sort of construction work somewhere and you say something like this, it's different. It's not that it's less wrong. It's like, but you don't hold a position of power. You don't have someone's life in your hands. Not only is he a firefighter, he was an EMT. So yeah, they did the right thing. Fire him immediately. And I'm not gonna be that person to say he's not sorry, because he could really feel bad, but still doesn't change that you called somebody the N-word, and your job is to serve all people without bias. And you've proven through your language that there's bias in your heart towards this people group on the job, on your way to help someone in need. There's nothing else. There's no other way to handle this but to get rid of them. Hey, got to live with your decisions. Maybe you shouldn't have been so comfortable using that word. I think when people use certain words, it just come out, and it came out. And the same thing with the state trooper. You can hide for a while, but what's in your heart always comes out. It always comes out. And I'm thankful for social media. I really am, because it shows like what people have been saying is happening. It's showing it in plain sight. It's showing it in plain sight. All these recordings, and I'm not saying you should be in somebody's house secretly recording them. If somebody's in their house and you're having a conversation with them and they're talking to you about things that's in their heart and on their heart, you shouldn't be secretly recording them. But you're on a job like this, to where your entire job is to save and serve people. You gotta go. And to, and then to call them that just for something so simple, like they're in the way on the road. That happens all the times. That happens all the time, dealing with like traffic. I've been driving and seeing firefighters, and I'm like, oh man, let me try to hurry up and get out of the way so I don't have to either slow down, like by pulling over, or I just stay back and let them go ahead, get further ahead. But if I'm ahead of them, I try to get where I'm going so I can get out of their way. So imagine someone just driving and either they're not as attentive, not moving fast enough, or maybe let's just say outright getting in their way. So this is what you call them? Yeah, you got to lose that job. Come on up off of it, because these are the people who are paying taxes and paying your salary, and for you to view them this way says all that we need to know, that you don't have the right kind of regard in your heart towards them on a consistent basis. I mean, I wouldn't want a racist person coming to my place, if I had a fire here, or if I'm not doing well and I have to call the EMT. I wouldn't want someone who views me that way, working on my body, working on my life, working on my family or my friends. Absolutely not, because that's dangerous. You don't know what to expect from them. But it's just another day where the heart of human beings are being exposed. And this is a situation where I'm like, yeah, rightfully so. May justice be served. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments section. Don't forget to connect with the brand online, www.their'shopebrand.com. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.